What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Millennial Club, and it's your boy Coach. Today is the release of my debut episode, and this is the first visual. It's coming to you guys. I want you guys to stay tuned. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Millennial Club, and it's your boy Coach. And today is episode 1 of season 2. I have a few guests here. Everybody, please introduce yourself. Let's go around the table.
I'm La.
I'm TJ. What's going on? I'm Nas.
I'm Gabrielle.
Everybody a little uptight. Y'all be easy. Y'all chill like y'all can be yourselves. Y'all in the Millennial Club. Let's get into the subject today. We talking about the lack of structure within the black household. How y'all feel about that? Not all at once. Not all at once. Like, what's going on? I mean, it's a lot. I mean, you can speak on when you're talking about the lack of structure within the black household, like the father being missing. Do you feel like that's a stereotype? Like, is the black father not there?
Well, personally, I mean, yeah, in 95% of the home, sometimes the black father isn't there, but most of the time, for instance, in my household, I have a stepfather. So a lot of times, there's not a actual, biological father. Sometimes, most of the time, there's a stepfather.
So would you guys believe that they're creating a narrative like the black father isn't there?
I do think.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, it's a factual. Yeah.
When in all actuality that black fathers do exist and that they are in their kids' lives, whether it be within a single family, whether the parents are together, do you feel like they're still involved within their kids' lives?
I mean, we're living through a lot of stereotypes that have built from years ago. I do think that our black men don't get a lot of credit in general. Just like there are a lot of men that are not in their kids' life, there are a lot of great black men that are in their kids' life. So we're just I think it's a huge stereotype. Yes, there is a population of black men that are not there. Just like in every culture to me. Yeah. Like, that's just what I think. I just think our black fathers are not getting enough credit at this point.
I got you. So how does that affect the kids though? Like when the black father isn't within the household? How y'all feel about that? Like,
that's definitely going to.
Yeah, that's always going to forever be an issue. I think in today's society, like, I don't know, for some kids, it's a lot harder to adapt or harder to learn how to mature even as an individual. For instance, within my household, my father figure wasn't really, present at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn how to become a man or learn from others what I thought a man should be like, if that kind of makes sense. My mother, obviously a strong woman, had the obligation or to try and play both roles. So I can only do the best of my ability. But just to kind of go back to the beginning topic of discussion, I don't know, I just feel like in today's society, a lot of black men want to step up to that role because they know that they don't want to, because they lost that opportunity. So they want to do better than their father, you know what I'm saying? And they kind of try to change the game a little bit.
So in a way, you would say that the narrative has changed. That millennial black fathers are in their children's lives.
They want to step up to the plate. They want to step up to the plate, yeah, without a doubt.
Just like I said, I feel like they're living through the old stereotype or past things that have been, attached to a black father's model type. Okay. But now I feel like we're seeing more of, and that could be because social media, because honestly I just feel like we think that so many things are new that are not new. And it's just because we have a big social media platform now that we everything is new and fresh to us, but it's not new. That's why I said what I said. Like, I think even back then, we have a lot of men that, there are deadbeat fathers, but then we also have fathers there. So it's like, how could you say that this is just it overall?
So going back to what Nas said though, is it an issue if the mother within the household try to play both roles?
I think it can become an issue because you start with mothers of what I've seen, and they raise black boys. The black boys may not be able to step up to the plate or fend for their own because the mother is spoon feeding them in every single way. Like the black mother looks out for their son like no other, which is a great thing. But when he becomes of age and ready to step out as a man, sometimes they're not prepared to be a man because they haven't seen that example. Like what black mothers do is very commendable. Like I have black mothers that I've interacted with and they raise great boys.
Yeah.
But you have to have, a woman can't show a man how to be a man. However way you want to spin it, if it's mentorship, an uncle, a grandfather, they need some type of
Male guidance.
Yeah.
Like a male figure in their life.
Yeah,
That's valid.
this is some things that
we aren't going to be able to do, and that's kind of hard for me too,
Yeah.
because
It's just some things.
I don't know, I have my father and my mother were never, you know what I'm saying, I didn't grow up with my father and my mother ever in the same household. So I lived with my mom for, you know, like all of my life, and I get what you're saying about like the spoon feeding and stuff like that, but I think it is still possible to make a great man and do what you gotta do. I think it's possible.
Some type of lack.
Yeah, there is lack, but I don't want it to be like said in the open like that can't happen.
No, it's not that it can't happen. It's not that these men aren't great, but when
They're
you
just
start
lacking in
to
certain
take
areas.
back the layers, you're like, okay, now
There's
I
some
see
issues.
where
Okay,
a
I
male
can
figure
understand
could have
that.
been beneficial to you in this
Yeah.
way. So.
I can
Okay, so
understand that.
in a lot of situations you see nowadays to where social media and many other platforms are kind of brainwashing black women to think that, okay, you don't need a black man. You guys believe that?
Well, that's been happening since the 60s and 70s
Yeah.
when welfare came around.
Yeah, but now that with all these tools that they have and resources, you kind of like seeing it take into effect. Like now, more so you see black women more engaged into dating white men. And not if that, you don't think so?
Well, then that could spin onto a whole other topic because we
That's what we're here
know
for.
everybody ain't thinking, listen, okay, well, since that's on the table,
Can of worms is open now.
so if that's on the table, then you can go into, well, what about all the years before that? And still a major thing now that a lot of black men feel like they have to go outside the race. They want something that they think is foreign,
Okay.
or that's the hot thing. Exotic is a hot thing, like as if a black woman is not exotic. You get what I'm saying? So I don't think it should be. So y'all been doing that for forever. So why is it now we start to see women do it? So it's a thing.
We
Oh, now
have
y'all
been-
want us on y'all John now.
No, see the thing about that. See the thing about that is, I feel like with music, a lot of us didn't value our black women.
Right.
And not only music, you see it when celebrities they finally make it. They feel like that is the trophy,
Right.
woman, the white woman. You know what I mean? So a lot of us just go into the habit of trying to pursue other things because we don't know the value of what we have already. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, just with that lack of structure, where does that put us in the next couple of years or the next 20 years? Do you think that it's going to be a common thing to where black men won't be within their in the same household as their kids and their significant other?
Well, I think it'll get. I think over time it'll get better. I think where everything is headed now. I mean,
We're becoming more woke.
yeah, a lot of people are coming a lot more woke.
And then people want a family structure because
Right.
a lot of people in our generation was
Wasn't
not in a
there.
household
Facts.
with
Yeah,
that.
like-
Like my parents were divorced right before I turned 4 years old, so I've always known 2 separate households.
Right.
So for me, my vision for my family,
Is to
we
have
all
one
want
household,
one. So I think
100%,
it's
yeah.
gonna start turning in that direction because
People
so
want to
many
do
people
better.
didn't have either the mother or the father, and they
Right.
want that sense of family, like as a unit.
So now let me throw this wild card out here. Nowadays, like a lot of us can't even say the climate of dating is where it's supposed to be. And when I mean the climate of dating, like now,
I
like
agree.
a lot of people are meeting on social media. A lot of people don't really like they want to date promiscuously. And how does that contribute to us going to be like having a stable home? Like dating and then leading to marriage.
I definitely think the times that we're in right now, we were just talking about something earlier where we feel like everything on social media is naked. You know, all the women we're definitely living in a promiscuous time. And it definitely affects relationships and households and structure and stuff like that, because it's just a cycle. If a lot of times when a man meets you a certain way, that's how you're gonna be treated. There are rare times where that doesn't happen, but most of the time, I'm gonna look at you like how you're presenting yourself. So I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna pursue you in that way.
Exactly.
Therefore, a lot of people are missing out on good things and building blocks and going into good relationships these days. I do feel like it's affecting future structures and things that could be, because we're not in a good time period of dating the right way.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I do feel like we're being affected as far as future relationships and marriages and stuff like that.
It's very easy to find, quote unquote, a date now. You don't even have to leave your house. They don't have to put in effort.
No
you can
effort.
just
All
scroll
these
through
apps,
and be
Swipe
like,
left,
swipe left, swipe right.
swipe right.
Like, you don't have to put in effort. You don't have to go out to meet people, to introduce yourself. You don't even know how someone really communicates if you're meeting them.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
There's
like,
no
even
Even on that, people are pretending to be something they're not.
Catfish.
Yeah, catfish. That's a very valid point. So,
You know, I used to find that remarkable that we could just have the accessibility to just, okay, boom, I found a new man here or I found a new woman here, but at the same time, it's making us socially awkward.
It
You know what I'm
is.
saying?
Like,
Like, a lot of us, okay, it's so cool to hop in the DMs and message somebody,
But then I meet you in person, you ain't got nothing
You
shaking.
can't hold a decent
And
conversation.
it creates that throwaway society, like, oh, she don't like me, okay, next.
Yes.
Like, you don't give people
Exactly.
an authentic chance, you don't, or you base everything off of just a certain image. Like, a woman can take 30 selfies and you're gonna get the best one. So you wanna see her in all her different light. Like,
All the selfies.
like, yeah, what about the whole thing? And people just get based off of one or two pictures and like a video.
I mean,
Like,
just,
oh, it's-
but in the same breath too, a lot of people get based off of like their following base, like even on social media. If you have like 300,000 followers, you know what I'm saying, versus 300.
But can't they pay for followers now? So that's
Yeah,
not even
people can
authentic.
too, but you'd be
Yeah.
surprised though, like how many people look into stuff like that. Like, are you verified? Are you know what I'm saying? Is this person
People
like?
really do that?
Yeah, definitely.
Are you verified?
I'm
Yeah.
serious. Like a lot of people look at that as and take it into account. Like, is this person even worth talking to? Like,
Facts. And maybe it might be the other way around. A lot of times men look for women that are low key, the ones that don't have that much of a follower. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you know what, this one don't want to be seen, and she's still cute, and she's still got a thing going on. So I think that plays a major part in it. So, I mean, to switch topics a little bit, let's talk about personal development. A lot of millennials, I feel, have gotten spoon-fed and are lazy. How you guys feel about that?
Not at all. I don't.
Not at all.
you don't agree
I do not agree.
with the
millennials
millennials or
spoon-
spoon-fed?
Well, okay. Well, let's define millennials. Millennials are actually us. Like that Gen X and Gen Z. Those are the younger kids.
Exactly. Okay.
So with us, I don't think that we were like,
Yeah, no, that's all it is. Yeah, I ain't good.
like, because millennials they say like
We're out
cut off
here getting it.
things.
Entrepreneurship is at an all-time high, I
Right.
think, at this point.
I don't think I was spoon-fed. I mean, we were taught certain things.
No,
I
we didn't
was
have to
given
saddle up our
extra-
horses and
Yeah.
all
but-
kinds of stuff like that,
No,
but
I know a lot of people around my age that are really out here, really
Yeah.
making like major moves. They're really putting things together, like this podcast.
Yeah.
You know, like they're really developing content and products to actually put out in the marketplace.
So let me stop you there. One thing that we aren't doing though, we aren't helping each other out.
there's a lack of that.
We're all doing our own thing, but we're all going in different directions. And us as millennials, it doesn't even have to do with being black, white, whatever color you are. You know, like a lot of us aren't helping each other out and not mentoring each other, or you know what I mean, just giving us direction. And I feel like that's very important. You know, within our age group. You see what I'm saying? Because we could have made more significant strides if we had somebody that like, yo, you doing it wrong. Fall back a little bit, let me show you how to do it. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like a lot of millennials are back and aren't on the right track because everybody's looking out for self. And that's cool.
I
But
mean,
not even everybody's looking out for themselves, but sometimes when you reach out to somebody to ask for help,
They're
other
not.
people are reluctant to give you
Right,
help because
exactly.
they think that you're going to get a leg
Or
up on them.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Like,
but it is a dog eat dog world, and if
True.
it's gonna eat you up and spit you right back out if you don't
true.
fend
But
for
I feel
yourself.
like
and that's
if you
just to be
have a
completely
certain
honest.
amount of resources, why not lend those out? Like, it's
Yeah,
not going to
you
dim
can't
your
get
light.
right.
It's
Yeah.
not going to
It's not.
affect you in a bad way.
I
if
think
you tell
sometimes though
somebody.
we all be on everybody's grinding. I don't think sometimes I mean say you grinding, you don't think to say, man, let me go talk to this person and maybe help them out because you're so focused on what you do.
What I got
You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times everybody get caught up with what they're actually doing for themselves. To be
Yeah.
able to say, hey man, let me help you out here. Most of the time when you find that person, it's gonna be a person that's already established in what they want, what they doing in life. You know what I'm saying? Where you gonna get some valuable help from a person that's already established. They don't have nothing to gain or lose because they already built that for themselves. So they have enough to give to somebody else. Then I feel like as millennials, it's not really a lot of people that's already made it to a point where they want to be at in their life to say, hey, let me go reach out a hand to this person and help them out. Some are, but I mean, just in the world we in today, I mean, most time people just not thinking like that.
Do you guys feel like that, because I know you mentioned that it's not a black, white, or whatever thing, but I honestly think that there's a lot of that goes on in our culture. Like, black people are not, if you think about even millennials in other cultures, I feel like they are still helping each other out more than we do. We have a thing, like black people have a thing where it's like competition, major competition. Other cultures, it's competition everywhere, but some cultures don't even eat outside of their, you know what I'm saying? I don't care, they don't spend their dollar outside
of their community.
Exactly.
It's also a generational thing, especially with black Americans. It's very different compared to someone who's, raised in a foreign country. Like, black people were put against each other since we got on this planet. So it's always, if it's not a color thing, if it's not a hair texture thing, if it's always something.
Every time we make it through one thing,
it's another
thing. Because we're getting better with like for instance, the hair texture thing. Everybody a lot more woke. We can walk around with our froze and not, like, men are starting to like it more and appreciate it. I'm glad we're getting over that hump. But then there's another thing that comes and it's like.
So maybe that's the next thing that we need to tackle is the fact that we can help each other out and it's not a competition. Like, you may be able to do something, okay, I can exchange this service because you offer this.
For this service.
Yeah, or I know someone who knows someone.
Alright, so for a minute, let's talk about how millennials like to take shortcuts. Do you guys feel like in many situations we always looking to take shortcuts in terms of trying to find the right job opportunity instead of going to a 4-year college? Many of us trying to, what would I say? Somebody help me out here.
There's nothing wrong with shortcuts.
In terms of what?
It depends.
You don't have to go to a 4-year college or university to do something productive with your life.
I agree.
That's
valid. No, let me say this.
But a lot of people want to get that get rich quick, scheme with a lot of finessing or what else? Scamming. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of
that stuff. We live in the land of scammers.
So what I mean by that is that in many situations, a lot of us don't have a plan, and we're looking to find a way.
The next quick thing, whatever it is to make the next quick buck. You feel what I'm saying?
People like that get burnt out quickly. It doesn't last long, or they get caught up in something way over their heads, especially like with the scamming and fraud and all that.
Right.
Like, people are doing like real time for
Right.
credit card fraud. You may make a quick 10, 20,000, but now you're in jail for the next 12 years. So now you've
It's not even worth it.
Yeah, it's not worth it. When you could have went and got a job.
Or pick up a trade or
pick
actually,
a trade, or start your own business.
That entrepreneurship stuff.
Well, shortcuts also, it diminishes the process, the actual process of whatever you are doing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like within the process comes a lot of different things. Rewards, failures, all that stuff. But through that process, you're able to learn whatever you're trying to do. So if I want to go be a school principal, I'm going to go through a process to be a school principal, so I can learn the actual trades, what to do, what not to do. But if I shortcut that somewhere in between from point A to point B, then I'm going to miss something, and that something might be valuable when I do become a principal. So it just depends on what you actually. I mean, like you said, shortcuts can be good depending on what it is. But
depending on what it is,
right?
I still don't. This is just me. I feel like shortcuts in general just don't. It's not beneficial in any means.
Me too.
Because if you're gonna shortcut something to get to an ultimate goal, you're half-assing yourself. You're not giving it your full ability or capability of succeeding, or you know what I mean. I don't know. That's just my opinion though.
No, I agree with that.
I don't like cutting
What-
corners. I don't like to, you know what I'm saying,
What-
cheat myself.
What categorizes as a shortcut though?
It depends on what you're talking about. Like with goals, of course, you shouldn't like shortchange yourself and do shortcuts. But say you're working on a project and you find an easier way to do something. It takes a shorter amount of time. That's the benefit of shortcuts.
It is. That's called
So
working
sometimes-
smarter, not harder. So I don't
Right.
even consider
That's
that
what
as a
I'm saying.
shortcut
That's a
though.
lean process.
That is,
But
yeah.
it's a shorter process to get something.
Right.
So it's technically a shortcut. Because sometimes it could help your business or whatever you're working on
Yeah.
develop a little bit faster. If you
Okay.
find a faster way to do something,
Right.
which in turn is a shortcut.
Which is called a lean process.
Lean process. So
A
I guess
lean process?
it's called a lean process.
Okay.
I guess.
Elaborate on that. What is that? I'm not familiar.
So basically, a lean process is basically you have. Let's look at a assembly line. You have an assembly line of things to do, but within that assembly line of things to do, there's things you can actually take out that's not going to actually affect the assembly line, but you're still going to have a great product or whatever. It's still gonna come out the way you want it to be. You're just taking out those small little things. Those extra little steps that's taking up time, you might not even need those extra, you know what I'm saying?
I see.
So, I mean, that's what a lean process is. I mean, it helps you get there a little faster and you're not really missing
Affecting
anything.
the end product.
it's
So
not
let me
affecting
say
the
this:
product.
why is when something is unfamiliar to millennials, or is it something that we haven't been introduced yet, it categorizes as a shortcut?
What do you
And
You
when
gotta
I
elaborate
say
on
that, like, okay, a lot of us think, well, in the Haitian household, the parents think that, okay, if you're not a doctor or lawyer or engineer, that you're really cheating
Yeah,
yourself,
you
you're
can't
taking
be
a shortcut,
successful.
you can't be successful. And I see that in it, that's outside of the Haitian household. I
Yeah,
feel like,
that's what I said.
and a lot of
That's a
African
lot.
Americans,
African Americans,
and
yeah.
sometimes in the white household, like, I've seen people that are billionaires or that are well off, and they're like, well, my parents didn't think I was gonna do well. You see what I'm saying? Because of what they were investing in. Like, if somebody is interested in stock investing, like, why does that categorize as a shortcut?
Well, I don't think it's a shortcut. I just think that it's a territory that's unfamiliar. I feel like a lot of families put
Right.
on their children like only what
They're-
what they have seen work in the past,
Yeah.
and they don't give the new stuff an opportunity.
Or they're putting, or it's something that they didn't actually achieve themselves or
Right.
do.
Right.
And so my child has to do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure my child does it. A lot of parents live through their children
Right.
too, which is a
That's
big
very
issue.
Yeah.
That's a big issue.
But people feel like too with those monumental jobs or career paths, those are like guaranteed too.
I see
So
what
I
And
feel
they're
like
not, they're not, just like for instance, I'm gonna be a chiropractor, and I have met millionaire chiropractors,
Yeah.
and I have met people that are around the corner and trying to pay to keep the lights on.
I see.
So it's all about, because chiropractic is all about, yeah, I may be able to do this thing, but how are you gonna know? It's all marketing.
Exactly.
And so if you don't, the person, I can move right in next door to you and take all your patients.
Exactly.
If my marketing is fire. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's just, it doesn't really matter. If the only thing that's kind of guaranteed is like, okay, working in a hospital is kind of like the same thing all throughout. That's pretty much, what to expect. It's pretty much same pay rate, and the same doctors get sort of, the same type of pay. But everything else, like even a lawyer, you have to go get it. Like, just because you're a lawyer, that doesn't mean anything. So,
And that's the thing with the job culture has changed a lot too compared to like what our parents did. Like my father worked with the same company for 30 years and then he retired out. A lot of companies aren't doing that. So you're having to take a different road or just a different path in order to, make money for yourself. Even with production used to not even be as open to everybody. Now it is. I mean, you can produce your own content. You can put your stuff out. You used to have to go to a production
somebody else,
company
yeah.
to get it on like television or to get it on the radio.
Exactly.
So I hear like a lot of parents like, oh, you shouldn't do social media or you shouldn't do production
Exactly.
or you shouldn't, I don't know, do
anything
acting.
that's just
film.
different. A lot of artistic things as well is not looked
Right.
at as things that are going to make money. If they're looked at more things that only certain people make money in those, like only certain people make it big.
Exactly.
But they don't understand that those people had to start from somewhere.
Right.
Like they didn't just jump in and make it big. So
Yeah.
it's all about.
So would you express or tell the millennials that these kind of things are acceptable nowadays?
I mean,
I would. I think there's so many things that you can make money off of.
Yeah.
Like I could have invented the bottle cap and been a billionaire. You hear what I'm saying? So you really can't knock, as long as they are going after something. Now, don't produce a lazy kid or a kid that doesn't know how to focus on something. I think we should instill the value of focusing on something, mastering something, and going after it.
and really completion.
And completing something.
Nobody wants to complete, like, they're like, oh, I got this idea, I got this,
And they
I'm
don't.
do this, and you never see it through to completion. People don't want to finish.
Okay, so let me, and not to cut you off, I feel like you guys have made a lot of valid points, but I want to introduce this new thing on the Millennial Club where we just have our closing thoughts onto where we can just give our audience information that they can use, like, you know, advice that we can use. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of times we just, you know, like I said earlier, we don't help each other out. So I want to give some information that, you know, our audience can use. So let's go around the table and just, you know, from what we spoke on today, as far as taking shortcuts, as far as, you know, completing things, and just what do you feel like you can just pass on to our audience and something that they can take from and use?
I mean, as far as me, just like what I just touched on, I'm a person that also dealt with issues with feeling like I had to do something to please my mom, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe that might not have been the necessary track that I wanted to do, but I feel like I had to do that because in order to make them proud. I feel like a lot of millennials suffer from that. And so I would say, go after it. If you have an itch for something or a desire for something, even if it's not the normal or what's said to be a successful person, like a lawyer, a doctor, whatever. You get what I'm saying? Go after that. We need more of whatever you have, because I'm a firm believer that God has placed individual things in each of us that we're supposed to go do, and it's not the same thing. We're all trying to go for the same typical thing. So if you have a dream or an itch or a desire or whatever you're trying to do, if it's not the normal, so what? Go after it and complete it, or you'll live with a life of regret. And that's just my thing.
What about you, TJ?
So the quickest way to get from point A to point B is through a straight line, and that straight line in life is planning. And so what I do is in life every day I'm planning my day to keep myself getting from A to B. And even in life you go from, you know, one side or the other, but as long as you can find your way back to that plan, A and B, and stay on that straight line, you'll reach your goal. So my millennials, you know, as we continue to grow, plan out your life every day and try to stay on that, and you'll find that you will be more successful in what you want to do throughout your day.
I can see that.
What about you now? Do you have anything you want to say to the audience?
I would probably say persistency and consistency is definitely something that you need to hold, you know, to the highest esteem. I think I read a quote that was like, failure will never overtake you if your determination for success is great. So that's just something that you got to keep in the back of your mind, you know, to just keep pushing forward, keep, you know, persevering and accomplish your goals. Something like what you said, TJ, just set your goals, man, and just accomplish them by any means necessary. Don't give up and kind of never back down or want to quit.
What about you, Gab?
For me, I think we're such in like the digital age. I still do pen and paper. I have a notebook, a binder. I'm very much so a planner, and I feel like when you write it out,
Right.
and you can physically see it, not just like holding your hand or scroll, I feel like you accomplish it better. I love a checklist. Even
Yes,
if
me
it's just
too.
something, even if it's just daily or weekly or what I'm planning in the next 6 months, just write it down. I think that's the main thing. And work on completing it. Like, people write things down all the time, but that follow through, that completion, I think
That
that's...
check off.
Yeah, that check
It's
off.
something about that check
Or
off.
writing a line through
Yes,
it. Or
something
it's
about it.
It's
I
like,
love
okay,
that.
good.
It's an accomplishment. It's like a
Yeah,
minor
I love
milestone.
it.
Even if it's like, oh, I walked them out of that. Oh,
It's
yes.
something.
I did my
Something,
list.
And
Yeah.
it's kind of like patting
That's a
yourself
good
on the back in a sense too. You know, just something that you can accomplish. You know, you want to reward yourself in a sense too. So yeah, and I can definitely see that.
That's a
checklist.
good one.
That is a good one. And a lot of,
That's
well,
my
I feel like I've done it in the past, especially with my journey through college and all that good stuff. But yeah, without a doubt, yeah, you gotta have that checklist.
In my opinion, I feel like all you guys made great points, and I just want to say that a lot of us, you know, forget that we need to keep up with our mental health.
Right.
You know what I mean? A lot of us are so focused on our journey and so focused on making it that we kind of not value. We devalue our mental health. You know what I mean? And that's why a lot of people struggle with certain things. You see what I'm saying? Because we forget to do things that are therapeutic to our mental health, things that help us cope with everything that life throws at us. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of us are going through school. A lot of us are struggling with the fact that we're not where we want to be in life. A lot of us aren't happy within our relationships, but we put on this face that we are. A lot of us just aren't happy in life, period. And they might have everything, because some of the richest people are depressed as fuck.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, if you cannot take care of yourself and your mental health, what is it worth at the end of the day?
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's one thing I just want to leave for everybody, man. No matter what's going on, take a pause, take a brief moment to just take care of yourself first.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, and I see that with a lot of people that's around me, and they be like, wait, hold on. You know what I mean? I need to take care of myself real quick. And you know, a lot of times I have a selfish moment, and I'm like, yo, what's that about? You see what I'm saying? Because I'm always on go. I'm always on go, but people need that. You see what I'm saying? Because if you can't do it for yourself, what else you gonna do? How you gonna be able to do it for somebody else? You see what I'm saying? So, and I really truly believe that a lot of millennials forget that. You know what I mean? A lot of millennials forget that, but it's that time. Thank you, y'all. I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all coming on the show. You know what I mean? Let's
Appreciate you for having me, man.
and this is a big thing because this is the first visual episode. It's going on.
Hey, let's give ourselves a round
You
of applause.
guys did great, man. Look at y'all, man. I mean, let's go around the table again. Let's do our little plugs. I'm sure that you guys have social media.
Oh yeah, I already know what time it is, man.
Go ahead.
Yes, you can follow me at confidence_is_key. It is spelled exactly how it sounds. Confidence_is_key, like lock and key.
I know that's right. TJ, plug in that thing.
TJ Heath, man, 34. Easy to find a blue chip.
Oh,
I don't have no. Yeah, right. Yeah. Anyway, I don't have no blue check, but you can follow me at Truth Nothing Less. Truth Nothing Less.
Hey, definitely cut out that part where I say TJ plug it in. I want that out of it. It sound a little crazy. Let me pause that. So we definitely got to take that part. It sounded real crazy. Look at the cameraman. Y'all can't see the cameraman right now, but he's going crazy. He loves that. But yo, y'all definitely follow on. Oh no. Go ahead, Gabby.
This is your show.
I'm just the owner. I'm just like that. But y'all can follow me on Millennial Club _podcast. Follow the kid. I'm just here so I won't get fined. Gabby, go ahead and plug it.
You can follow me on Instagram at Gabrielle Simone.
Alright, keep it simple.
Very brief. She does have a clothing. She does have a clothing line. But thank you, y'all. I appreciate y'all. It's been a pleasure. Until next time on the Millennial Club.
Yeah.
But you gotta come in and say